Hello. So this is a video for volunteers that are going to be um, joining me on the 4-week mindfulness for pain course. So I thought it'd be nice to explain a little bit about what's going to happen on the course and what might be really helpful to have from a volunteer. So throughout the course, there'll be Zoom calls, obviously. So a lot of it will just be making sure that everyone's okay on Zoom. So we have the little chat box on the side, which I'll be encouraging people to use. So it will be a case of having a look in there and just seeing if anyone's made a comment or a question, and then letting them know that that's been acknowledged. You might not be able to say answer the question, and that's fine. But if you can acknowledge it or maybe draw my attention to it, that would be great, just so that everybody feels included and welcomed. There is also, I've got my list down here, I may be doing some enactments, which is really an example. It's like mindfulness put into action as such, but they'll be very straightforward, and it would just require you to be the partner as I'm demonstrating an enactment, and we'd go through that before, and it's really simple. For example, one of them is how our thoughts dominate us, and what you would have to do is just sit there, and as I ask you questions and you're saying how you feel, you'd add more cushions on, and then you describe how it feels to be trying to hold all these cushions up and how challenging that can be, and then I'll relate that back to mindfulness. So it's really, really simple stuff, but that might be something that you're asked to do as a volunteer. We've got also, sometimes in group discussions, as I'm sure you know, it can go a bit quiet. I might ask a question and then people just kind of go silent. So in those times, I'll be sort of looking for volunteers to maybe chime in with a comment or a point to make, or perhaps just an observation, just to kind of keep the conversation flowing and going. And also, it means that it's not just me speaking all the time, and it's more of a collaborative effort, which I find is nicer anyway. So yeah, the role of the volunteer will be fairly straightforward. You won't be asked to do a lot. A little bit about what I'm actually teaching. So yeah, mindfulness for pain. So if you're familiar with mindfulness, then you'll probably have a good idea of what we're going to be doing. If you're not, the definition I like to use for mindfulness is paying attention in the present moment, non-judgmentally. Where we come into it with pain is that when we experience lots of pain, lots of judgment comes up. So that last part, non-judgmentally, is going to be really, really important in this 4-week course. And I'll probably be drawing the participants' attention to things that they say or things that they do that is just a clear judgment of a situation without any evidence. So yeah, mindfulness for pain is a heavy emphasis on judgment. There, we'll be going through some meditations in each session. So we'll be having like 10-minute meditations. They're likely to be beginners, so the meditations won't be for long. And then after the meditations, I'll then do some kind of an inquiry, which is discussion to kind of say, how did that feel for you? Very often you'll notice me bringing the awareness back to their body as well. So how did that feel in your body? When people experience health conditions and chronic pain, the body can become a bit of an enemy. So in mindfulness, especially mindfulness for pain, we look at bringing it back to the body being more of an ally. And we do that by placing our awareness on it in the present moment, non-judgmentally. And all sorts of things come up when we try and do that. And so it's just going to be I'll be working with what comes up in the group at that time, and then feeding it back to them, and then opening it out for a discussion. I feel like I'm sort of just rambling on here. So that's kind of what the course is going to be. Well, that is what the course is going to be about, and that's what's expected of the volunteers. If there's any other questions that you have around the volunteer process or the actual course or the content I'm teaching, then I'm sure Lucy, I'm happy for Lucy to give you my number or email or however you want to contact, and we can talk about that. But yeah, if you're interested in doing it, I'd be really happy for the support, because it frees me up to then just teach without having to worry about things like the chat box and if everybody's okay. So yeah, hopefully you would like to do that. And if so, I'll see you for the first session on Monday the 12th.